Welcome, everybody. This is the AgnihotraLady, the Cosmic Clinic, and this is Mother Dee. We're broadcasting live at Shantivilla Institute. Our main location is at Tuskegee, Alabama, right up the street from Tuskegee University, which is a historic university where a lot of great things happen, including where George Washington Carver was a professor and a scientist there. We are broadcasting live at the Conyers, Georgia location, our Atlanta location, located in Conyers, Georgia. And so we will get started as normally we do with the Varuti mantra, and then we'll jump right into the talk. The talk this evening is the Science of Agnihotra and Junk DNA Renewal. That is the name of the talk. Let's get started with the Varuti mantra, okay? Vu swaha adliyetam namama vaswaha vayavedam namama swaswaha suryayadam namama burvaswatswaha prajapatiyedam namama. Okay, so like I said, tonight's talk is about the science of Agnihotra and junk DNA renewal. And so let me start off for anyone that is not familiar. Here at Shantivilla Institute, we teach the ancient Ayurvedic science of Agnihotra. Agnihotra is a very powerful performance that you can do every day. Is tuned into the circadian rhythm of nature. Is performed at sunrise and sunset. And we use a copper pyramid in which to perform Agnihotra. So at sunrise, we already gather materials. We use dried cow dung. We use brown rice. And then we use ghee, which is nothing but unsalted butter that has been boiled down, and you skim the fat off the top. And these are the ingredients we put in the copper pyramid. And so at sunrise, there is a flooding of ethers and energies that cascade upon the planet, and they interact with the copper pyramid. So exactly at sunrise, we utter a Sanskrit mantra. So for evening meditation, we say a different mantra. But the whole purpose of this is that at sunrise and sunset, there's a cascading of these energies that interact with the pyramid. We're talking about the sun and the solar system. There is something there that produces a purification of the planet, and it cleanses the atmosphere of pathogenic bacteria. It cleanses the water. It cleanses the soil so you can grow things in soil that has been depleted. And you, as a person that is performing Agnihotra, you're able to purify your mind. It is a mind renewal purification technique that is very ancient. And this is an Ayurveda technique, okay? So, with all the things that we are hearing about in the world, the headlines about what's happening in Northern California and Buffalo, New York, and I see our brothers and sisters in Australia are having flooding problems, and there's conflict in Brazil and things like that. It's not just the weather. The thing is, because we are a part of Mother Earth, that means that when it is polluted and when there is inclement weather, that means it affects the humans' minds, all of our minds. which means that when we clean up the earth, that means we clean up our minds because we are part of the purification process. So when we are talking about the science of Agnihotra, we are talking about straight up quantum physics because we are talking about purification that goes all the way to the DNA. And so know that whatever problems you are having, if you are argumentative, if you are fighting with your husband or your wife or your children, the people at work, your neighbor that gets on your nerves next door, the auntie or the Uncle Joe that gets on your nerves, listen, there's a reason for this because the pollution is not just in the air or the water, okay, or the animal behavior that is also affected, it affects everything all the way to the Earth's core. We're talking about electromagnetic pollution, nuclear pollution, and of course, for the humans, we're talking about thought pollution. So, our polluted thoughts add to this pollution that has been made by us humans and our arrogance trying to control everything. And we cannot control everything. We think so with our arrogance. And nature is like, oh no, you don't control nature. So our minds have to be renewed. And so when you are performing Agnihotra at sunrise and at sunset, the more you perform this, the more you have a mind renewal, the more that you are able to reconstruct and repair your DNA. Because what happens with Agnihotra, like I said, the process of the sun and the solar system begins the whole quantum physics effect, okay? So this is a very ancient practice done in a copper pyramid that the entire family can do, the entire community can do, okay? This is a way to heal the problems of crime, okay? And behavior that is not befitting of community members, like child abuse and murdering and stealing, and the drug people, the cartels that do all sorts of things to these communities. And it's not just in Mexico with these people that are, I think it was like something out of a movie, they are blowing up and kidnapping people from the airport. These are places where the Agnihotra needs to be done on a regular basis because that will clean up the pollution of those that are doing these very bad things. Is because their minds are polluted. We have to cleanse their minds. They don't have to perform the Agnihotra, but the community members, when they are performing Agnihotra, it cleanses all the pollution. And when we say it cleanses pollution, if you go to Google Scholar, many times we have said go there, and there are scientific studies that show what happens to the soil, what happens to the water. They can measure these things with scientific instruments. But we as human beings, we have to understand that we operate based on experiences. So you can just test this yourself. Don't wonder what we are saying if it's true. You can test this yourself. Try it for like 2 weeks and see how you feel performing Agnihotra at home with your family. Invite the neighborhood if you're having a problem with crime. And in some of these neighborhoods, they build them on top of places where they dump nuclear waste, especially in the low income, at risk neighborhoods where minorities live and Black people and Mexicans and things like that. Okay, this is a way for you to combat the nuclear waste that is being dumped there. It will clear all of that up. It will clear all those things up. So understand that when we are talking about Agnihotra, we're talking about lighting the cow dung, okay, in the pyramid. And we say the mantra, the sunrise mantra that we say, and we have it well lit, and then we take the rice and we every time we say swaha, we put the rice. So this is what it sounds like in the morning. Suyaya swaha, suyaya idam namama praja, patiye swaha praja, patiye idam namama. But every time we say swaha, we put a little bit of rice, and that is part that starts the purification process. And then you begin to cleanse your DNA. We'll talk about DNA renewal, junk DNA renewal, in a few minutes. At sunset, we say a slightly different mantra. We are saying Agni. Okay, wait a minute. We already said the Suyaya. Okay, so Agniye Swaha Agniye Idam Namama Prajapataye Swaha Prajapataye Idam Namama. That is the evening mantra for the Agnihotra process. So let's talk about the fire. So fire has for many centuries been known to all cultures around the world as a purifying agent. And our own modern scientists in labs, they would use fire for these certain scientific experiments that they do. Okay, we don't like when they do these experiments where they are tampering with the atoms, because the atoms are the building blocks of any civilization. And when you do that, you can destroy an entire civilization, as we can see now. So when we are talking about purification with the agency of fire, we are talking about getting down into the subatomic realm. We're talking about quantum physics. And Agnihotra, it goes beyond the quantum physics, okay? So we talked about earlier what happens with the copper pyramid when the sun and the solar system interact with the copper pyramid. There's a cascading effect that goes 8 miles up, 2 mile radius, and everything is rejoicing because there's a glorious purification. Everything is being cleared. Okay, the voices of the birds, they're singing quite brightly because it's like, I can breathe again now. Because believe you me, all these creatures, great and small, are having a hard time breathing and flying around, and all this pollution that is floating everywhere. Okay? So that is what is happening. And we're dealing with all sorts of pollution. Like I said, atmospheric pollution, water pollution, soil pollution. This clears up the soil so you can grow food in areas where monocropping has torn up the soil and the soil is crumbling. And for those that have PTSD or mood disorders or having heart issues or any of these things, it helps to clear up many medical conditions. Okay. So we say when you perform Agnihotra, that this fire is very purifying on every level. We're talking about planetary renewal, mind renewal of the humans. And of course, we are talking about cleaning up the prana energy, which is also infected, which is the life force that runs through everything and goes up into the outer space and all of that and beyond. So the sun is the activator for all the physical manifestations on this planet. Okay, so the sun, a very, very bright star, it activates all this. We're talking about the sun. So when you're performing Agnihotra, we're talking about cleansing up your bioplasma body, which is like your second body that you do not see, but it's an energy system within your physical body. Okay, so you may have heard people talk about chakras and things like that. So we're talking about the sun activating the Agnihotra pyramid to cleanse your bioplasma body. Okay, and so is there are things that happen when your bioplasma body is activated and purified. Things become clearer to you. You understand things without having to read them. You get into a state of non-thinking, which we have talked about before. Okay, so we're talking about deepening knowledge, universal knowledge. These are things that are not magic. This is based on Vedic science, very ancient technology. Okay, so when people say, well, I have my intuition, and how did my grandpa know not to hook up the mule because the mule will kick somebody and hurt them, or so and so is going to pass away the next day. These are things that are communicated on a different level. You do not have to communicate with talking. That's the lowest form of communication for those that are on a spiritual journey. And you may have heard of so and so's grandmother that had this deep intuition and knew when someone was pregnant and all these things. People from before, our ancestors, they lived this every day. Okay. And we have gotten away from this ancient technology of having to communicate without talking. Let me say again, we say again that talking is the lowest form of communication for those that are really deep in their spiritual practice. It is the lowest form. Do you like talking? That's good. But when you really want to understand something, you can be communicated with on a very deep level, okay, with other people on the planet, and also with the divine Mother, Father, God, without speaking, without reading books. And if you do have to read something or see a TV show, you are directed because you are connected to the original source. So I just wanted to get a deeper explanation about Agnihotra, the process, and all of these things. Um, so Agnihotra, to be clear, and I am looking through notes because I want to make sure that I cover very important things that I know people ask me questions and I sometimes do not answer maybe in a most complete way, but I want to make sure that this is very clear, especially for any new people that are joining us for this broadcast here at Shantivilla Institute. So Agnihotra, it produces this flame, and the fire, as we said, is a wonderful purifying agent that takes place and has been used for many centuries in the original ancient Vedic science. And of course, we know that the scientists use the fire in their labs when they do certain things in the labs there too. So fire is very well known, okay? This is not something new. So the Agnihotra flame is a lamp. The Agnihotra flame is a lamp. It's the lamp of change. It's the lamp of truth. It is the lamp of human evolution, the lamp of purification, the lamp of cleansing to guide you to the original source, which is the Mother, Father, God. Do you understand me? When you are performing Agnihotra, it is a Kriya yoga, which is the highest yoga that you can perform because it takes everything into consideration. Agnihotra takes care of the trees and the flowers and the plants and the cascading water. It takes care of the soil. You know, it takes care of the humans and every animal, great and small. This is a beautiful way for you to be part of your divine birthright of being a caretaker of the mother. So we like to say, people, would you take care of the mother as much as you care about the stock market? I see people complaining about, oh, the stock market, my stock portfolio. If you take that energy and bring it into taking care of the planet, we would not be having these problems anymore. So, do we understand what we have to do as humans to take care of the planet? And when you take care of the planet, you are taking care of the very heart of you because you are part of all of this great, wonderful creation, intelligently designed by God. Do you understand how wonderful and blessed you are to be part of all of that? And so now we're going to speak briefly about junk DNA. And we've talked about this before. As you know, there's no such thing as junk DNA. And maybe some of you do not know. They were talking about, oh, your junk DNA, it's in there, it's extra, you don't need it. That is not true. Because what happens when you are dealing with the ancient art of Vedic science, ancient technology, what happens is when you're performing Agnihotra at a time, when you're doing your yoga and your deep breathing and you're sitting still, then you're getting into quantum physics. Okay, there is no junk DNA. God did not create no junk. Okay, there is no junk DNA. Let me repeat it again. There is no junk DNA. What happens is when you're purifying yourself and your energetic body builds up power through you sitting silent, through you doing the basic homophire, which is called Agnihotra, and there are other homophires that we can show you. But there is an awakening of your DNA. So we like to see that the junk DNA, it actually stands for the dynamic new awakening. Dynamic new awakening. You hear me? This is what DNA actually stands for, because you're awakening everything that is powerful within your energetic body. You are getting to this high consciousness, okay? Beyond your physical being, beyond this physical form. You hear me? Because we are all powerful, mighty, and great. Once we get low on this subatomic level, things are very quiet. Things become very clear. Things are slowed down. But then that's when we become big and mighty. This is where all the power is. So when you study quantum physics, they will tell you all of that. Okay? And so Agnihotra goes beyond that. So when you're performing this, we're talking about DNA. Your junk DNA becomes activated. We're talking about DNA. It actually stands for dynamic new awakening. So there's an awakening within your body, an awakening with how you think, how you treat people, what you think about yourself. You begin to forgive yourself and be gently talking to your children and be more understanding of your spouse. And when you walk outside and look at the sky, you notice how blue it is. And then when you see your neighbor, you notice that, oh, wow, I see they're cranky because they're limping. Maybe they hurt their leg. Let me ask them if they're okay. You become the very image of God, because now the quantum physics has activated your DNA. There is no junk in your DNA. There's beautiful sense of awareness in your DNA. And we are here to tell you that Agnihotra will help you get to this place where you are magnificent and great. Okay, that you will twinkle with the sun that's in the sky, and you will glow like the moon. And when you step on the soil, everything that feels your feet hit it will say, "Ah, I love you." This is what we're talking about. So then, when you need to know something important about your family, maybe your daughter is going through something at high school, or you don't know why your spouse is so quiet, not talking to you, the things will come to you automatically. You'll become more understanding. You don't have to worry about having these thoughts of, oh, I don't like that person, I hate that person, and things like that, because it will cleanse itself because you've activated the DNA. We're talking about the dynamic new awakening. We're talking about the quantum physics that everybody is a part of. Do you understand who you really are as people and how beautiful and powerful you are if you just be silent and go into the subatomic state, go into quantum physics? And this is what we teach here when we talk about Agnihotra. It's very simple to do, very simple indeed. And the entire family can do it. Your entire neighborhood can do it. The community can do it. And think about what happens if an entire city can do it, an entire state. We're talking about going from place to place, state to state, cleaning up the areas where they dump pollution and nuclear waste in the Black neighborhoods, in the poor neighborhoods where the children are playing and the people are suffering from all the poverty and lack of fresh food. Do you understand how transformative Agnihotra can be for the entire world? This is something that everybody should be shouting from the rooftops that we can do this. The people, we are together. Okay? And this is all we're trying to teach. We teach this for free because this is God's gift to humanity. This is the gift of humanity. It comes from the Vedas, and the Vedas belongs to everyone. Okay? So no matter what faith you practice or what politics you have, we do not teach politics or religion. Okay? We do not talk about it because the only thing that is eternal truth is that we are all brothers and sisters, no matter where we live, okay? No matter what we look like and what we believe. All of us cry tears if we're sad. All of us have these frustrations, okay? Now we're dealing with food and the economy, and people, they are desperate and they're scared. So we're here to tell you that you do not have to be scared because Agnihotra is the path to lift the veil of ignorance from minds, to bring about the strength you didn't know you had. You're not alone. Just know we love you completely. We pass no judgment. This is something that we teach everyone to feel for each other. Say it out loud. I love you. I love you. I love you. Now say to yourself, I forgive myself. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. This is what we are teaching. Okay? So I just wanted to talk about that. And so just so everyone knows, here at our Conyers, Georgia location, we are teaching at a women's drug rehab house. And we've seen really great results in just teaching deep breathing and another home of fire, not Agnihotra, where the women are just full of bliss and just do breathing. So if you're doing deep breathing along with Agnihotra or the other homifiers, for those that are dealing with the drug challenge or PTSD or other mood disorders, oops, the phone is ringing. Then understand that we can deal with all of these challenges. If you think you have um, the inclination to rape or murder, this will help with that. So we will be going into the prisons teaching this. Do you understand me? Okay. We will be going there. Okay. To help those that have these very serious challenges. Do you understand? We're going to be going from state to state and helping everybody who needs the help. I don't care if you've been on the street walker, and you a drug dealer. Okay, but right there in the present moment, you are brother and sister that will be helped. Okay, through Agnihotra, we will help you for free. So that is the message that we wanted to share with you this evening. Feel free to go to our website, shantivillainstitute.com. You can email us at shantivillainstitute@gmail, and Shanti is spelled Shanti. And then we have the Facebook page, Shanti Villa Institute, and then the other page is Shanti Villa Atlanta, because we can't have two different addresses on Facebook. You have to have two separate Facebook pages. Our main location in Tuskegee is closed down, okay? And our Atlanta location, we are seeing people here at Conyers, and we're here to be of service, okay? So let me just show you the Agnihotra kit. We do have a few kits left. Let me show you that. It comes with a booklet. So if you are a teacher, if you want to become a teacher, we'll teach you how to be a teacher. Everybody's a teacher. Okay, we have the copper implements here, the cup, the spoon, the tray, the stand, and of course, the copper pyramid. Can you see that? I didn't open this up properly. And the tongs. So you can go find this on our website. I will assemble this later. And then we also have, oh goodness, our mudra book. Let's see if I can find it right here. The Secret Science of Mudras, and of course the mudras. I don't know. Oops, can you see that? The Secret Science of Mudras, written by Sri Charles. So mudras. You do this with your hands, and you have about 72,000 nerves that go from your fingertips to the rest of your body. So it's a science of healing. You can do it while you're meditating or without. We teach classes on that. Okay. And what else do we have here? We're going to be shortly. We'll be publishing Sri Charles's autobiography. That is, he dictated his life story to me. So we'll be releasing that on the website and maybe have it on Amazon. And we're going to have other new products that we'll be selling, not on our main website, but on a separate Facebook. Different things, because we need to be able to produce resources so that way we can give to people that we are helping through these prison programs and halfway houses and things like that. And of course, you're welcome to donate. What is the thing to donate? I think is we have a PayPal and a Heal the Atmosphere thing on Cashapp, and we also have Zelle. I can't think of it right now, but message me if you're trying to donate, because we'll be quite busy, okay? And we appreciate you, okay, very much. If you have any questions, you can message me or any of these things, okay? Or you can email, okay? And we are here to serve, and we're so happy that you joined us this evening. And you have been viewing Mother Dee at Shantivilla Institute. This has been the Agnihotra Ladies, the Cosmic Clinic, and we look forward to talking with you the next time.